Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Morning. I had shared yesterday that we just completed our Chinmaya Inspiration Yatra 16. And this was special because this was only Devi's, 30 of us traveling for a week. And we sort of completed our yatra by going to see the movie Barbie. Fitting, yes? How many of you have seen Barbie? Okay. This was my second time, and it was even better. For those who have seen this, if you analyze Ken's personality in the beginning of the movie, he tends to be tamasic, filled with laziness. He is insecure. Then he shifts from Barbie land to the real world, and he becomes rajasic, filled with aggressiveness. He's all about patriarchy. But then he comes back to Barbie land, and he gets filled with sattva, or quietness, where he feels enough, that can is enough. And the implication of what I'm sharing is, as you associate, so you think. As you think, so you develop, especially in the AM. In the morning, it is almost like we are most impressionable. If we start our day off wrong, the rest of the day sort of becomes wrong. And if you start off your day in the right way, you are better off for the rest of the day. How many of you agree with what I'm sharing? At the end of the month, we are going to have our first physical silence retreat after 4 years. The last time was pre-COVID. When we gather physically, since I walk around and I teach and I eat with everyone, I am sort of a reminder to be disciplined, to be inward looking. Meaningful Mornings is a response to when the world became unstructured, work from home, study from home, all from home. We didn't have external structure. Meaningful Mornings has been a response to try to stay disciplined. How many of you feel that if you didn't wake up early and study early with Meaningful Mornings, you would be less disciplined? By a show of hands. Okay. Over the past 1,052 mornings, we have explored diverse subjects to help us on our journey to joy. And through this journey, we have survived. We have survived by following that which is right. This was symbolized yesterday, today, by our worship of Vigneshwara, the master of obstacles. If you do what is right, you will have less obstacles in your life. It is not enough to just follow that which is right, but also to follow that which is right with humility. And we are exploring this. We are trying to practice this This has been symbolized yesterday, today, by our worship of Vinayaka, the humble leader. The best way to celebrate Vigneshwara Vinayaka's Jayanti is to change your vision and lifestyle, not just make something and then immerse something. Of all the subjects that we have explored, our longest investment has been in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 1 is the setup. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 2 is the syllabus. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 15 is the spirit. And as I've shared, with the study of chapter 15, Bhagavad Gita is complete. Yet there's more people joining through Zoom and Facebook and Instagram than ever. So for us, it's not complete. One of the last words that Sri Krishna uses in chapter 15 is Anagha, the one who is pure. Chapter 16 and 17 are a support on how we can become Anagha, or pure. Right now, we tend to have Asuri Sampatti. Patti means wealth. Sampatti means inner wealth. Asuri means selfish. Our personalities have this print to be selfish. That's Agha, the one who is not pure. And so in chapter 16 and 17, there is a framework, there's a flow for us to cultivate Daivi Sampatti, for our wealth, our inner wealth, to be Daivi, meaning selfless. For us to become Anagha. And the last word in chapter 15, Bharata, the one who feels that they are light. If you use chapter 16 and 17, then chapter 18 will be your description. When Prince Arjuna shares with Sri Krishna, Nashta Moha, I am not confused. I am content like you. We get into chapter 16 specifically. Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Shodashodhyayaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yajñascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam. The practice in meaningful mornings. If you can chant with me, good. If you can't chant with me, good. For those who can chant with me, we write joy. What is this verse teaching? Joy. In this verse, Sri Krishna shares a series of Daivi Sampatti, the inner wealth of those who are selfless. For some of us, this describes us already. For some of us, this becomes our practice, so this does describe us. Here we go, lots of content. Abhaya. I zoomed into this yesterday. It means fearlessness, but that's a lofty virtue. So bringing this down one rung for us, courage. How do we nurture courage? Through commitment. Commit to that which is right. Commit to Bhagavad Gita. Commit to meaningful mornings, and you will find yourself complaining less. Weak people complain. Strong people commit. Sattva samshuddhihi, which means one whose personality is filled with sattva, which means quietness, and shuddhi, which means purity. Samshuddhihi means deep purity. Okay. So we can generalize this as purity. How we can cultivate this is to have a lifestyle that is meaningful. If your lifestyle is meaningful, you will feel more pure. If your lifestyle is meaningless, you will always want to be entertained. My lifestyle is boring, so I'm always seeking out entertainment. Next, Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi. Vyavastitihi means context or establishment, is in or flows with Jnana Yoga. This is the third characteristic. Trying to make this more real, one's routine is filled with Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Built into your time is listening, reflecting, and contemplating. And I don't think there's a greater time in the history of the world where we have had as much access to listening, reflecting, and contemplating. We have an entire program created for this. Next, Dhanam. Dhanam as a verb means charity. As a value means generosity. This is a very specific value for those who are in families. In Sanskrit, we call such people grahastas, people like me. And the predicament with being in families is attachment. How many of you struggle with attachment? This is the antidote. Generosity inhibits attachment. Next, Dhamma. Dhamma means calmness of body, calmness of your physical structure. And a way we can practice this to feel what this body needs and even wants is just energy. When you eat, instead of focusing on taste, this body needs energy, give it energy. When watching, if you treat what you're watching as energy, then you don't binge, you don't get addicted to it. Next, yajna. The way we define yajna is dedication. Dedication to what? And please listen to this carefully. While I was in Calgary, there were many people who are newer seekers, and they were asking me about different organizations and how they feel some organizations are cult-like. When one is dedicated to a person only, that is cultish behavior. And I hope you're deducting that in Meaningful Mornings, it is about our trust triangle, finally divinity. It is not about a person. It's not even about Pujaswami Chinmayananda. Our dedication should be to a purpose. But the highest dedication is to the presence, existence, awareness. So be careful. If you're around an environment where that dedication is to a person, that's cultish. Now, for those who are really listening carefully, you being dedicated to your family only is cultish behavior. That's why I remind you about community, society, humanity. Next, swadhyaya. Technically, it means self-study. It is getting to know you. We put in a lot of effort to get to know others. It is getting to know you, particularly your values or strengths, but also your vices or weaknesses. If we meet for the first time and I ask you, who are you? You're going to go on and on about your strengths. But a seeker has to know their weaknesses too, which leads to tapa. Tapa means to burn one's comfort zones. It is converting vices into virtues. I have to know I have this vice to grow out of it, correct? But if I'm the best in all ways, there's nothing to work on then. And finally, Arjava. See how much Sri Krishna loves Prince Arjuna. He's saying, Arjuna, you yourself are of value. Arjava means straightforwardness. How we can cultivate this is to be singular in our purpose, singular in our commitment, singular in our tasking, unitasking. The more singular you are, the simpler you become. I have a single wife, so my relationship with everyone is simple. If I have multiple wives, my life would be very complex. If everyone heard that clearly, lots more to share from inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to challenge yourself to register for the highest vocation, to be exposed to advanced contemplation, starting with, this is not at 7:45 a.m., it's at 5:30 a.m. Imagine how early you have to sleep then. For those who are registering, I am requesting you to donate to Payer, that's our water conservation effort, to offer this donation before the highest vocation starts. Please forward your donation receipts to our team so we can track this inspiration, which now leads me to today's application. It's a communal application. Shri Krishna shares about dana. I shared about attachment. We commenced Meaningful Mornings in March of 2020. When we commenced and I saw the power of our community, the grandness of our community, I took a mental sankalpa that the world is struggling, we are thriving, that we have to spread the thriving to the struggling. And so I took the mental sankalpa that every month, our community is going to offer, every month, $5,000 to humanity and $10,000 to the environment. See, we have a propensity to donate to humans, but what about animals, plants, and stones? They get neglected. So I want you to take the same sankalpa. Your application is to join our communal effort that every month we are going to live by the value of dana as the antidote to attachment, so that our thriving can spread so others also thrive. Plan for this for your birthdays, plan for this for your paychecks, plan for this in your purchases, that we are going to do this together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be joy.